Got a little friend today, little pal. Okay, so hopefully it doesn't fall. This is my cute little panda. At least I think it's a panda. It has a unicorn horn though, but that's besides the point today. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for being here. Today we're gonna talk about the moon signs, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. So what is your moon sign? I feel like because astrology has gotten so like popular recently, I feel like almost everyone knows what a moon sign is, but in case you don't, your moon sign is your emotional side. People sometimes describe it as the hidden side of you. One thing I want to note with astrology is that it's very much like interpreted however you want to interpret it. You don't have to listen to what I say and take it as a fact, because it's just my own interpretation based on my own study. I have been into astrology for 5 years, been studying it just for fun, honestly, and more recently became, I guess, professional, if you want to call it that. But to me, honestly, it is more of like a fun little hobby and something that I use in my actual day-to-day life to understand myself more and to understand people more, especially the people that I'm dealing with. So when it comes to a moon sign, it's really good to look at your moon sign and other people's moon signs in terms of how to handle their emotions, or how to expect what their emotional reactions to things are going to be, or how they're going to deal with emotions. And you can also apply that to like how you're going to deal with emotions and whatnot. There are certain moon signs that are more, I guess, sensitive than others. There are certain moon signs that maybe are more disconnected from emotion, which is like there's different challenges for different moon signs and there's different strengths for different moon signs. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. I'm just going to get into kind of like my personal experiences, because the way that I've always studied astrology is that I am creepy as hell and I just look up people's birth charts and then I observe them. And so there are some moon signs that I haven't come across as much as others. So I'm gonna have more to say about certain moon signs than others, which I'm just gonna put that disclaimer out right now. I apologize if I don't have as much to say about your moon sign, but that's just because I haven't bumped into as many as you, and maybe I just don't attract your energy as much. But I would love you guys to talk about your moon sign, and if I missed anything about your moon sign in the comments, that would be amazing. So let's get straight into this video. We're gonna start with Aries moon today. So Aries moon, this is one of the moon signs that I don't really track too much, but the Aries moons that I have seen, I guess, like, because I know there's some like social media people that I found that have Aries moons, and also shout out my therapist, she has an Aries moon. You know what, I really like the Cancer Sun Aries moon combination for some reason. I know that seems a little scary, but I find that they're just like very secure in themselves. Like if they're developed, they're really secure in themselves and their emotions. Now, Aries moons can be known to have emotional outbursts and get pretty angry. I feel like they're more prone to being frustrated or angry as opposed to sad. I'm sure they do get sad and stuff like that. I feel like an Aries moon kind of just rolls with their emotions, similar to maybe a Cancer moon, or yeah, you just kind of like roll with them, you know. You don't really think twice about an emotion, you just kind of let it happen and then you try to go from there. I find that Aries moons can be a little more impulsive, and they definitely want what they can't have. I actually lied earlier when I said that I haven't attracted many. I mean, I haven't attracted many, okay? I've had one Aries moon that I was close to. This guy, he was an Aries moon, and he would constantly go after girls that didn't want him. And I'm not saying that all Aries moons are like that, but that's just a personal experience I've had with an Aries moon. So you guys can be like that. Emotionally can be a little bit insensitive at times. Maybe like you guys will like say a joke and it'll like offend or hurt somebody, but that's probably because they have like a more sensitive moon sign, or they're just more sensitive emotionally than you. So I would say like it's interesting because Aries moons I feel like are sensitive when it comes to themselves, but when it comes to other people, they're not as sensitive, you know. Like they'll say something and they won't understand like, oh, why did that hurt you, why did that offend you, whatever. Something I do really like about Aries moon though is that you guys have this confidence about you. Like you just are very secure in yourself for the most part, or I don't know if it's an act. but it seems very genuine. Like, you guys genuinely love and care for yourself and respect yourself, and you guys put up emotional boundaries pretty well, I would say. Like, Aries moons, you guys know how to kind of like put up those walls. You're like, okay, I'm not dealing with this emotionally. Like, this is too much for me. Like, you guys know how to kind of, you know, sense when something is a lot for you, or when it's just, you know, you don't want to deal with it emotionally, okay? But I feel like that's all I have to say about Aries moon as of right now. If I missed anything, which I probably did, and you have something else to say about this moon sign, please comment it below. I would love to read your comment. But now I'm going to move on to Taurus moon. So Taurus moon, you guys are probably my favorite moon sign. It is exalted. So what exalted means is that Taurus moon is the best place for the moon to be. Taurus is very comfortable in the moon. This is not to be confused with like at home, because the moon would be at home in Cancer, but it's not exalted, if that makes sense. There's another word for that too. If you know it, comment down below, because all I'm thinking of is like at home, but there's an actual term for it. But regardless, Taurus moon, the moon is comfortable here. The moon is all about emotions and stuff, and Taurus is about grounding emotions. Taurus is about making those emotions comfortable. So what this manifests as in a person is Taurus moons are really good, typically, especially if they're developed, at being able to say no to something. If you're not comfortable doing something, you're gonna say no to it. If you're emotionally not feeling well, you will not hesitate to say, I can't do this right now. Like, I need to stay home. I need to do this. Like, if you're just not feeling well, you are your top priority, honestly, as a Taurus moon. Your feelings are number one priority for you. And if they're not, as a Taurus moon, they definitely should be, because you guys are one of the best moon signs. You guys are the, I don't want to give you guys too much of an ego, right? But like, you guys are the exalted moon sign. So there's a lot that we can learn from you guys in terms of dealing with emotions. You guys are the ones to, you know, if you're feeling sad, you take a bath, you know, you make yourself something nice, you drink some tea, do a lot. Self-care is very, very popular with this moon sign. You guys aren't really going to neglect your feelings. Sometimes I can see that Taurus moons will detach a little bit, but for the most part, you guys let yourself feel it out and then you're done with it. The one thing I will say about Taurus moons is that when it comes to a feeling, they are pretty dramatic about it. Not dramatic in the way that you're putting on a show about it, but like, you will take that feeling very, very seriously, which for some people with other moon signs or like other ways of dealing with emotion, for example, people who detach from their emotions, will be confused by this, because they'll be like, it's not that serious, like it's just a feeling or whatever, or they don't understand it as much. But you guys take your feelings very seriously, and if you don't, you absolutely should, because I've seen, on the other hand, an undeveloped Taurus moon, and that can go really bad really quickly. So it's really important for you guys to comfort yourselves, to ground yourselves. You guys have the most grounding presence, honestly. Like, I love a Taurus moon. When someone tells me they're a Taurus moon, I'm like, oh, that's why I'm so comfortable around you. It's because, like, you're just down to earth. You're chill. You're not gonna make scenes about things. You're not gonna, like, do any of that. You're just vibing. And then if an emotion happens to present itself to you, you know how to take that time out and experience that emotion and just let it go. I mean, actually, I will say that some Taurus moons can have problems holding on to feelings, holding on to grudges and things like that. But for the most part, you guys really know how to handle it and move on from it. And you guys are also very comforting and make other people feel comfortable in their emotions as well. It also depends on other placements of yours. I will say, I'm not saying that you guys are, because it's funny, because like, I love Taurus moons, but sometimes they are awkward at dealing with like other people's emotions. Like, when it comes to their own emotions, it's different, but with other people, I feel like sometimes they're like a little awkward about it. But I think that's totally fine. Like, I don't really care. I don't expect someone to be my therapist, so unless they are my therapist. But that's about it for Taurus moon. I'm not gonna get into the whole stereotypical like, oh yeah, they like to eat, because I mean, they do, and they do have good taste. Taurus moons have really good taste. Oh, I also will say that the Taurus moon mother is more of a laid back person. The Taurus moon mom is more of a like luxury mom. Not saying that they like luxury things, but in the way that they don't want to work. That's something I've noticed about people with Taurus moons. Their moms are usually pretty like, they're not super like work oriented. They prefer to like have fun and like chill, you know, that kind of vibe. But that's just a random tidbit. But yeah, we're gonna move on to Gemini moon now. So Gemini moon, this is a placement that I'm actually getting closer to. I've attracted more Gemini moons into my life, and so I have seen how this works in a person. So Gemini moon people, I'm gonna start off with their moms. Their moms are typically very like unpredictable with emotions. Their moms are especially unpredictable with their emotions, which causes the Gemini moon child to grow up very confused when it comes to their own emotions. Their mom is also like a super probably like free spirit, independent individual, but this causes them to be like super detached from their emotions when they're older, and they tend to run away from them and tend to be uncomfortable with them. Honestly, I find that Gemini moon people, they're not comfortable with emotion, especially not their own, unless they're able to develop this and become more comfortable with their own emotions. But yeah, it can be hard for them. They're really good at talking, like they're good to talk to, they're very good conversationalists, of course, but their minds are so active. They probably have like ADD. If you're a Gemini moon, you might have that just because of how distracted you get and how your mind just like flips from one thing to the other. Gemini moons are very prone to escapism and addiction. I've seen this in some Gemini moons that I know. Yeah, they're just prone to like running away from their problems in any way that they can. But if they're able to face their problems and their emotions, they flow through them really well, actually. Like if they're developed, they're just kind of like the Taurus moon, where they just let themselves feel it out, and they can be super dramatic about it sometimes. Yeah, they're very open about it. I find that they're also really open at talking about it, like talking those feelings out, and then they're able to release it and let go and move on. And yeah, a Gemini moon could literally be bawling, crying one second, and then the next be like laughing their ass off. I mean, there's a healthy way to do that and an unhealthy way to do that, you know? Like the healthy way is to face that feeling, to process it, to work through it. And they can do that pretty quickly as a Gemini moon and then move on. But sometimes they can like be crying and then they just push it away and then they just start laughing, you know, kind of like the Aquarius moon, just detaching from their emotions, like not taking their emotions seriously. So next moon sign is the Cancer moon, which is my moon sign. And I've heard like people talk shit about our moon sign, but I feel like our moon sign is pretty okay. The one thing I will say is one time my friend told me, they're like, I don't get Cancer moons because it's like you guys want the secrecy of a Scorpio moon but the openness of a Pisces moon. And I felt that, like that makes so much sense for us. Cancer moons, we have this shell, but then we also like want to be like loved and what's the word, like nurtured, I guess is the word I'm looking for, but I don't know. That's not the right one, but it's fine, I'll work with that one. So it's like we want to be open and welcomed and nurtured, but we also are like kind of secretive, and we have some parts of us that are closed off that people can't access, which yeah, we can be pretty secretive. We can be mysterious, like Cancer moons are known for that. Like we're mysterious, whatever. We don't talk about certain things that happen in our life, emotions and whatnot. So the moon is at home in Cancer, right? So it's comfortable here, but it's also very emotional here, and we have a struggle. Our challenge is that we hold on to emotions too much. I've also found that the Cancer moon mother is like the mom of the Cancer moon. She's pretty nurturing. I feel like she's also pretty reliable, but she does have a tendency to not get down with emotions. I'm not saying that the mom of the Cancer moon is unemotional or like doesn't nurture the Cancer moon, because I think they do, but there's this weird dynamic where they nurture, but at the same time they're like, why are you feeling this way? They don't try to understand the feeling. So they're just like, aw, poor baby, you're crying. Okay, get over it now, you know? But the Cancer moon now, as an adult, will struggle with finding someone that is willing to unpack those emotions and help them with that, if that makes sense. The Cancer moon native is going to have a hard time with being too clingy, you know, because they're unconsciously chasing after that comfort that they didn't get enough of as like a child. So they're just constantly chasing after that, and this can happen and this can manifest in the way that some Cancer moons are way too open, way too fast, and they can become extremely codependent and just cling on to someone and want them to stay there with them in those moments of like heartbreak and sadness. Like they need someone there with them, but it's like super unhealthy because most people just can't do that. It's just too much for them. And a Cancer moon, when we feel things, we feel them so strong, and a lot of the time we have a problem sulking and sinking into this emotion and not wanting to move out of it because we desperately want someone to come in there and fix it for us and like help us like work through it, when in reality we need to actually be the grown-up and work through it ourselves. So that's a Cancer moon struggle. But I do find that Cancer moons are pretty, you know, sweet. You can tell like when you meet us, we're pretty nice. We have like a softer look to us. We definitely come off as a little sensitive, but there is like this weird Cancer, you know, shell around us. And what else can I say about us? Oh yeah, we're like not shy to cry in front of people. Like even if we are shy to cry in front of a person, there's no stopping us. Our emotions take over. We don't have a lot of hold or grip on our emotions, so they just kind of take over. And yeah, we'll end up crying in front of people, and like we definitely are embarrassed by it, but there's like nothing we can do, you know. We can't really control it. It's just like the water starts flowing. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to say about the Cancer moon mom, is that she probably like overreacts sometimes when it comes to the Cancer moon baby's emotions. If the Cancer moon is like crying or needs something, I feel like it's either one of two ways. It's either like that it takes them too long to get to the child, or they are super over dramatic about it and they're like, oh my god, what's wrong? Like they just are too much about it. And then so that makes in adulthood the Cancer moon also dramatic about their emotions. But I think that's basically it that I have to say about Cancer moon. If you have anything that I missed, like I said, please write it in the comments. But I'm gonna move on to Leo moon. So Leo moon, not gonna lie, don't know many Leo moons, don't really know how Leo moons work, but I will say that they remind me a little bit of Cancer moons, where if they have an emotion, they are just kind of dramatic about it, and yeah, like feel it through. I feel like they might not also be shy to cry in front of people, but I don't really know too well because I don't know Leo moons too well. I feel like the Leo moon mom might be a little overbearing, dramatic. She could be like a very lively person, like the life of the party type mom. I will say my brother is a Leo moon and he's super warm. I haven't been close to one, but I feel like when I meet one, they give me this energy of warmth. They're very generous as well, like they'll give a lot. They also kind of expect it as well though. When it comes to emotions, I feel like they do feel intensely, but I honestly feel like Leo moons are private about their emotions. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I just like haven't really seen a Leo moon be super emotional. Me trying to think of Leo moons that I've known. How have I been studying astrology for 5 years and barely know anything about Leo moons though? That's crazy. That should tell you how few there are in my life. You guys are very colorful and creative. The ones that I have known, they are very creative, like with their hands, like with art and stuff like that, with creating things. They also are into fantasy type stuff, I find, whether that is like video games, movies, stuff like that. Like they like to be immersed in another world. They like to feel things like that. They get really excited over, oh, you know what? I will say they get really excited over certain things that they obsess over. Like, this is so random, but I've noticed this. If they're like a fan of someone or of something, like some kind of franchise or something like that, they go all in. They're so loyal towards that thing. They will dedicate themselves to it for years. I'm so serious. And also with relationships, whether that be like familial, friendship, or relationship, I find that they're super loyal in those relationships and they stick to those people, sometimes to a fault. Sometimes it's like, okay, you gotta like let this person go, but they just can't. But yeah, that's about it for Leo moon. Any Leo moon watching, please comment what it's like to have a Leo moon, how do you deal with your emotions, what's the tea, any random stuff you want to say about your moon sign, please comment it down below so I can learn a little more about you guys. Okay, so next moon sign is going to be Virgo moon. This moon sign absolutely terrifies me. This is like the moon sign of a sociopath. I don't know. They're actually really nice. I won't lie, like a Virgo moon is really nice, but they do give me sociopath vibes just because they won't really cry in front of you. They won't really show emotion in front of you, but they are very helpful when it comes to emotion. So if you're sad, a Virgo moon will want to do something tangible to help you. They'll be like, okay, let me schedule you a therapist appointment. Like, all right, like let's write down, like let's make a pros and cons list. Hey, do you want me to go get you ice cream or something? Like they will do something tangible for you to help you. But they are very like dry when it comes to like they do kind of approach things awkwardly. Sometimes they give really good advice. They're good with their words in terms of like advice and helping people in that kind of way, but they are a little scary to me. I won't lie. And it's not just because James Charles has a Virgo moon, but maybe it is, I don't know. But as a Virgo sun, I find that I get along with Virgo moons pretty well. It's just the fact that they're not as emotional or connected to their emotions, and I find that they have a more restrictive view in terms of their emotions. They definitely deal with their stuff privately for the most part. Like I said, they are not ones to like cry in front of you or be super emotional in front of you. They'll do all that in privacy. They're probably more likely to like journal if they're feeling sad, to write out their feelings. And if you're a Virgo moon and you don't do that, you might want to try it, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury and it's words and thoughts and communication, you know, and that's where the moon is for you. So that's like mixed with emotion. So it would be good for you guys to kind of like verbalize your feelings, just like the Gemini moon. It's good for you guys to kind of speak about your feelings to someone or just to yourself. Other than that, the Virgo moon sign is very helpful. The Virgo moon mom is pretty crazy. I will say the Virgo moon mom is super like the opposite of laid back. She's gonna be that mom that has like strict opinions. She's very opinionated. She wants to kind of like, she's a little too helicoptery over you at times. Maybe this will relax as you get older, but for the most part, like when you're younger, she's very like hovering over you. She wants to kind of control certain aspects of your life, has these opinions that she's not going to change. She's very stubborn. That's another thing I've noticed about the mom of the Virgo moon. So later in life, I feel like that's why Virgo moons are a little more restrictive with their emotions, a little more controlling and obsessive over certain things. It's just such a mercurial take on feelings that's why I say like it gives me a little bit of those like unemotional, like sociopath vibes. I'm not saying you guys are sociopaths. I know you're not. And I know a lot of you guys that are very sweet and kind and super helpful. Like that's all you want to do. You just want to help, and you just want to be that, you know, shoulder to cry on. You want to be the person in the background that's like helping and supporting anybody that is feeling hurt. But you guys need to also do that with yourselves as well, because I find that the Virgo moon kind of neglects their own emotions and can also really detach from their emotions, which is, you know, unhealthy. And you guys really need to kind of like give yourself that me time. You don't always have to be helping other people, you know. You can focus on yourselves, especially if you're feeling some kind of way. You need to kind of like let yourself feel that and don't judge yourself for it, because I feel like sometimes the Virgo moon can be super judgy if they're feeling a certain way about something. But yeah, next we're gonna move on to Libra moon. So I will say I feel like Libra moons can get stepped over or stepped on sometimes, just because they have this thing where they would rather not create conflict. So in order to avoid conflict, they end up just apologizing for things that they don't need to apologize for, they shouldn't apologize for, like it's not their fault. And they really just want to come across like nice and kind and fair. They are really good when it comes to like advice and like logically figuring out a situation and trying to create harmony in a situation. Now, when it comes to their own emotions, I feel like the Libra moon does respect their emotions to a degree, but I do feel like they can detach, because I have known Libra moons and I've been like kind of close to Libra moons, but I never really see their emotions like at the face of anything. Like, I don't see their emotions come out much. I think it really depends on their other placements and all of that. But for the most part, I don't really see them be emotional. So I do feel like that they have this ability to detach. But at the end of the day, they just want to be kind. I feel like they can be kind to themselves when it comes to emotions, but I feel like they would rather maybe like help other people or things like that. Something I have noticed about Libra moons is that they have a posse. Libra moons always have a group of people around them. The thing about Libra moons is that they can be quite codependent, and they need other people around them. I feel like Libra moons in a way are almost afraid of their emotions, because when they're alone, that's when they have to really face them, and that's why they're kind of like always around a bunch of other people, you know? And they kind of, honestly, I just feel like Libra moons just want to have fun. Like, they're not trying to feel anything too serious. They're just trying to have a good time. They're just trying to create harmony. They just want to vibe. And when it comes to like their own emotions, they feel them, and I mean, they will reach out to like a close friend or something if they're going through something. But for the most part, I feel like they can be a little bit detached, and they will, you know, distract themselves with like maybe like going out or something with their friend group and stuff like that. Like, they just need to have a friend group. They need to have I guess a support system. They just like having a bunch of other people around them. Like, I've really noticed this about every single Libra moon I've known. Every single one wants to have people around them. I will say that some Libra moons can be quite toxic, because as much as they need these people around them, they're also talking shit about them, like, which is just not good. But I'm sure there are Libra moons out there who have a group and they all respect each other and they don't talk trash about each other, and it's like an actual healthy thing. But for the most part, I can see that that dynamic can get a bit toxic with the Libra moon. With the Libra moon mom, honestly, I don't know much about Libra moon moms. I haven't really like noticed. If anything, I feel like they can be a little too materialistic and controlling. But yeah, and they are a bit detached. Like, the Libra moon mom doesn't really care about the Libra moon's feelings. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they might pretend to, but they don't actually care. I feel like the Libra moon child is kind of left to just kind of figure things out on their own when it comes to their emotions. Like, the Libra moon mom just kind of leaves them there, and they're like super superficial, the Libra moon moms. I feel like it takes something really serious for the Libra moon mom to finally notice like their child is hurting. But that really depends, because I've also seen Libra moon moms be like pretty nurturing and like dependable and there for their child. So I feel like it really depends, and that's not something that always that astrology can tell you. As much as I've been like decently close to Libra moons, there's something about them, like, I don't know everything. So if you're a Libra moon and you have something to say, please comment it down below. But otherwise, we're gonna move on to Scorpio moon. This is the debilitated moon sign. This is the opposite of Taurus moon, which is the exalted moon sign. This one is the really difficult moon sign to have. My mom has this placement. These people go through really difficult things early on in childhood. These people go through hard things, honestly, throughout their whole life, but that is because they have such a vast capability to handle it. Like, not everyone is going to be able to handle the things that the Scorpio moon person has been given in life. So Scorpio moons are really private. You know, they keep a lot of things to themselves. They're pretty secretive. When it comes to their emotions, they do not cry in front of another person. They would rather die. They would literally rather die. That's that Scorpio instinct. You know how a scorpion, if it's backed into a corner, it literally pierces itself and kills itself before the thing could kill it. And that is exactly how the Scorpio moon is. They would rather cry alone. They don't want anyone to see them in pain. They don't mess with that unless you're like family. But even if you're family, they might not even show you still. It's unless they're super comfortable with you, but they are not the type to show pain, fear, anything like that in front of another person. They're super strong. They can be a bit intimidating because of this. They can be a bit forceful sometimes, but at the end of the day, they're very, very strong people, and they have been through a lot. If you ask a Scorpio moon what they've been through, I guarantee you it's gonna be a lot of trauma that they tell you about. But the thing is, they're gonna talk about it as if it's nothing. and you're gonna be shocked. Like, that's the thing. Scorpio moons are so incredibly strong. But I will say that there are some Scorpio moons, underdeveloped Scorpio moons, that they will make their trauma everyone's problem. I haven't really run across this too much, but I know that they're out there. There's Scorpio moons that are like, well, I went through this and I went through that, and they can't really move on. But most Scorpio moons, they take that pain and they learn from it and they move on, and they're able to, you know, actually have a good life and be happy. They are pretty happy people, and I find that they are pretty positive, but there are some of them out there that they can't move on from their trauma for whatever reason, like they don't want to. Sorry, I live in the city, y'all. We love a good siren in the background. So another thing about Scorpio moons, the mom of the Scorpio moon is probably really hard to deal with. She's probably volatile, and she probably did a lot of damage to the Scorpio moon child. I find that the Scorpio moon mom is just super hyper emotional and unpredictable. Not in the way that like the Gemini moon mom is unpredictable, because the Gemini moon mom is unpredictable in a detached way. The Scorpio moon mom is unpredictable in a really unhealthily attached way, to the point that they cause actual trauma and they can be delusional even. Yeah, the mom is really hard to deal with the Scorpio moon child. So they end up having to carry the emotions of the mother as well as themselves. So it's a lot of feelings, and that is why they're gifted the Scorpio moon, because that gives you that strength, that capacity to take it, to handle it, and to transmute it, because only really a Scorpio moon is able to transmute that energy and to turn it into something amazing and beautiful. There are so many people, celebrities even with this moon placement, that are so strong and successful and have made something because their past has made them strong enough to do it. But yeah, that's a Scorpio moon. So next we have the Sagittarius moon. I don't know many Sag moons either, not gonna lie, but I feel like they're just crazy. Sag moons, it really depends on the rest of their chart, okay? But I've met Sag moons with like not much earth in them, and that shit is crazy. Like, they're really funny. I'm not gonna lie, like they're really funny, they're fun, you can go out with them, you can have fun with them, have good conversations with them, but they are a little toxic. That's what I've noticed. Like, the Sag moon almost finds it funny, like toxicity. Something really traumatic could happen, or like they do something really traumatic to someone else and they find that shit funny for some reason. I don't know why, but like I've had Sag moon people talk to me and tell me situations they've been in, and it's like something just not funny. It's something like actually kind of concerning, and they're just laughing about it. They're like, whatever. Or they're like, yeah, so my toxic ex hit me back up. I'm probably just gonna do it. Like, I'm probably just gonna talk to him. Ha ha ha. And they expect you to like laugh at that, which I'm not the kind of person that thinks stuff like that is funny. Like, I mean, you do you know, like live your life, whatever, but I just don't get them sometimes, because I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, so you like toxicity, you want to hurt yourself again? Like, I just don't, it doesn't click for me. I find that some Sag moon people are like that, but otherwise they're really fun to be around. Like I said, the Sag moon men are a good time. They're kind of like stupid. They're like really goofy. They have a good sense of humor. The Sag moon also, I find, even if they're like toxic and doing like really bad stuff in terms of their life, they'll give you really good advice on your life. It's so weird. Like, they come across super wise. They're like this guru, like so wise, like old soul when they're giving you advice, but then when it comes to their own life, it's just like, what the fuck is going on? This is a train wreck. Like, this is not a good decision. Why are you making such bad decisions? And you like don't take it seriously. Like, it's crazy. I don't know, but that's pretty much all I know about the Sag moon. I don't really know about Sag moon parents. I actually haven't met any like Sag moon, like anyone that I know with the Sag moon, I haven't met their parents, so I can't really say much on that. But If you know anything about that, like I said, drop it in the comments. Don't be shy. I would love to read your comment. All right, next moon sign is going to be Capricorn moon. Capricorn moons are not debilitated, but they are challenged because the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer, and the moon was at home in Cancer. So of course it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be uncomfortable in Capricorn. Capricorn moons, I have a lot of experience with Capricorn moons. This is another one of my favorite moon signs, even though they are challenged. Capricorn moons give really good, solid advice. They're pretty dependable people. Actually, I would say they're very dependable people. And when it comes to emotions, it might just be because I'm a Cancer moon and they're my opposite, but I love Capricorn moon's energy because they bring me back to life. Like they bring me back to reality. They ground me in a way that no other moon sign really can. They give me that reality check, but they do it in a way that's kind and gracious for the most part. Sometimes Capricorn moons can be a little harsh when it comes to the reality checks that they give you if you're feeling emotional about something, but just remember that's just because that's how they are with their own emotions. A Capricorn moon can be very detached from their emotions and really struggle with appreciating the emotion, because the emotion is there for a reason. It's there to teach you something, but for them it's almost like a hurdle they have to jump over, or like it's something that gets in their way of the day or success or whatever. When a Capricorn moon is feeling a certain type of way, it's really hard for them to get out of that feeling. When they're feeling bad, they need the whole day off, like they need time. But if they can't, then they will push that feeling back to the back of their mind. Their feelings are honestly like their last priority. It's not even a priority. They're not on their mind, which is like really bad. I feel for Capricorn moons. I feel like I'm a good companion for Capricorn moons just because I am like more nurturing and emotional from the Cancer moon side of me. But yeah, Capricorn moons need someone who can remind them that emotions are okay, emotions are actually important, and it's okay for them to cry. Capricorn moon is also the kind of moon sign that probably won't cry around you. They're probably very private. They have also gone through a lot of stuff in their childhood, traumatic situations, very similar to the Scorpio moon. They go through things. Oftentimes one of the parents will leave. This is also common in Scorpio moon signs, but yeah, one of the parents like just leaves for some kind of reason or even disappears or something like that. There is always like a lack of, and especially with Capricorn moon, a lack of father figure, or like the father figure was weaker or just more challenged. So that puts a lot of responsibility on the Capricorn moon shoulders to become that figure and to like really carry that weight and that responsibility. Capricorn moons experience heavy responsibility from a very young age. So that's something to remember with them, and that's why they are not as kind and forgiving on their own emotions. They actually get annoyed when they start to feel something, when they start to feel sad, you know? They will literally save their emotions for another time. Like they're the kind of person that'll like set a timer for like 5 minutes and like that's how long they can cry for, and then it's done, like they gotta move on. The Capricorn moon, like I said, one of their parents, one of their parental figures probably was not around, or if they were, they brought a lot of chaos to the family situation. Pretty dependable. She can be dependable. It really depends, but for some Capricorn moons, the mom can be dependable. For other Capricorn moons, the mom is the chaotic one. In a lot of Capricorn moons' lives, it's like both parents that are chaotic. They're very strong and smart and capable, and they put on a lot of responsibility onto them from a very young age. They're probably in school, they were in like hella clubs, they probably did really well, got really good grades. Or on the other side of things, they fell off and they like turned to maybe like substances and stuff, because sometimes that can happen with Capricorn moons, or just with those challenged moon signs like Scorpio. They have a hard time facing, you know, reality and stuff, so they can lean towards addictions, and yeah, that can be really rough. That's also really like not good for the Capricorn moon, because the Capricorn moon in their essence really wants to be structured, stable, and have a lot. They're also really good at saving money. Capricorn moons are the best with money. If you have a Capricorn moon friend, I guarantee you they're always giving you money advice, or they're low-key judging what you spend your money on if you like spend a lot. But they can also really help you like budget and, you know, save your stuff, and they're just really good with being practical, and they're really good at working towards what they want their future to be, and they're very patient. They're very, very patient. I'm super impatient, so that's another reason why I love them. Like, they remind me, like, okay, put in a little bit every day and you're gonna get the outcome later, because their moon is ruled by Saturn, which is, you know, that dad planet that really preaches like discipline and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the Capricorn moon. Next we have Aquarius moon, which I recently have gotten to know Aquarius moons, and this moon sign is honestly kind of funny. Aquarius moons, when they're feeling some type of way, dude, they'll like cry, but then they'll laugh at themselves like the next second. It's so easy for them to detach from their emotions and then just kind of realize how ridiculous they're being, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Even if they're not being ridiculous, it's like they're just like, what? They will just laugh because it's like more comfortable for them. Because, you know, Aquarians are more of that lighthearted energy. They're not into that dark shit. They're more into like, you know, making people laugh or like laughing at themselves and that kind of thing. So they can end up, laughing at themselves even when they're upset, when they're crying. And a lot of the time they do detach. This one Capricorn moon, my one Capricorn moon friend told me, she was like, yeah, like on the outside I can seem totally fine, but on the inside, like, I'm dying. And that's how you guys are. You're able to like put that mask on and like just detach from them, but you know deep down that you're having these feelings. So that's another thing that Capricorn moons or Aquarius moons need to watch out for, is also like that substance abuse. That really is a problem with any moon sign that detaches a lot, because that's a lot of the time how us humans will cope with emotions, especially if we detach from them. That's why it's so important to face those emotions. So Aquarius moons, like, they can face their emotions, but it is a little more difficult for them, especially if they're in an environment where they really feel like they can't. You know, they need to feel comforted and like it's okay. Because a lot of the time, the Aquarius moon, they will have a mother figure who is detached, who's very similar to the Gemini moon mom, who is unpredictable, who they don't give them that emotional support and that reaction from their emotions that they need in order to feel comfortable, in order to feel like they can process them. A lot of the time, the Aquarius moon will not process their emotions. So that's why they end up they're like, what even is this? Like, they're crying and they're just laughing because they just don't, it's crazy. I don't know, but I love Aquarius moons because they're so lighthearted and funny, and I kind of love them for the fact that they could be bawling, crying, and then laughing the next second, just like the Gemini moon. Just like, it's so crazy. It's so like chaotic, but it's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all are goofy. But please, Aquarius moons, make sure that you're able to be in an environment that you're comfortable in, that you can express your emotions, that you can feel these things, because it's really important. Because even though you are an Aquarius moon, you are just as sensitive as the rest of the moon signs. All right, so last but not least, we have the Pisces moon, which is another one of my favorite moon signs. I love Pisces moons for their openness. Pisces moons are the most open moon sign for the most part. And you know what? Actually, sometimes they can come across as super like closed off as well. But when you get to know them, they are super, super open with their emotions. They'll tell you how they're feeling. They will cry, you know, in front of you. They are not shy to show how they're feeling about a certain thing. They're also super loving. I found that Pisces moons have a hard time finding like a significant other or person that they feel like will totally accept them for them. And I think that's just because they do wear their heart on their sleeve a lot of the time, Pisces moons. But they're super cute. They're so empathetic. They're there for you if you're feeling some type of way. But they also have a hard time standing up for themselves, I found as well. And like, being able to tell someone like, hey, like, this isn't okay, you know, when they feel like someone's overstepped a boundary for them, they have a hard time saying that. But when they are able to say that, they're very powerful people. And don't think just because they're a Pisces moon, they're like a little baby. Like, they're not, you know, they can be, but they are also tough. They have a tough side to them. And that's the duality of the two fish in the Pisces sign. And since it's in the moon sign, it's like, yeah, they can be tough in terms of emotions. They do have an ability to kind of shut it off and to put it on the side. But for the most part, they are very sensitive and they're good at like feeling out their feelings. When a Pisces moon is feeling some type of way, I feel like they typically just like nap or something, or they do like that self-care stuff that Taurus moon will do, which is really good and healthy for them. The Pisces moon mom, honestly, I'm not sure about a lot of Pisces moon moms just because I haven't met them really, but I feel like, I don't know, it really depends. Yeah, I have to meet more like of people I know who have Pisces moons. I need to meet their parents so that I can observe this more. But if you're a Pisces moon and you like have something to say about that, please comment it below. I'm trying to think what else I can think of Pisces moons, because I'm pretty close to you guys. Like, I know a lot of you, and you just make me feel so comfortable with my emotions. You don't make me feel like I have to hide or detach. You're like, no, you do whatever you need to do. You guys are really good friends like that, and you could even be like the therapist friend because of that, because you have such a kind heart. Oh, another thing about Pisces moons, and this is so random, but I feel like you guys are really good cooks. I don't know, this is really random, but some Pisces moons like really know how to cook up a meal. And you know who you are, the people watching this. You know who you are. If you're a Pisces moon and you know how to cook a good meal, comment below. I think it's Pisces placements in general too, because Pisces suns are also really good at cooking. Just a random observation. But yeah, also things like gardening, like, yeah, having like plants, flowers, things like that. Pisces moons are really good at like doing natural things like that, like cooking, being, you know, cute little like housewife moment. If you identify as male, you're still good at this stuff. Like, you're still very sensitive and in touch with your feminine side. But I will say that Pisces moon men, I feel like I've heard that they're fuckboys, so I don't know many Pisces moon men, but that is what I've heard about them. But yeah, guys, that was it for the moon sign series. Let me know if you have anything to add. Please add it in the comments below. Also, please comment if you have any ideas for videos you want to see from me. I would love to read those as well. But otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!